The shadows in your home are not always what they seem. Some energies linger quietly, unseen, yet they influence every moment of your life. I am Shi Hengyi, and today you will uncover secrets hidden in ancient Shaolin teachings, secrets that explain how words themselves carry power, shaping the space around you and the life you lead. For centuries, Shaolin monks understood a truth often forgotten in modern life. Inner harmony manifests outwardly. The calm of your mind, the steadiness of your body, the clarity of your intention, these are not just personal virtues. They are tools that command the very energy surrounding you. When aligned, they can repel disturbances that seek to unsettle your home and your spirit. In this video, you will learn 5 potent verses, each one designed to purify, protect, and transform the atmosphere of your home. These are not ordinary mantras or prayers repeated without understanding. Each verse embodies a principle of Shaolin wisdom, blending mindfulness, energy discipline, and personal mastery in ways that most have never witnessed or been taught. You will discover how subtle shifts in thought and vibration can clear the space, dissolve negativity, and invite a balance that feels almost tangible. By watching till the end, you will gain practical insight into using these verses, not as magic, but as a reflection of your inner strength projected outward. You will begin to see your home as a living extension of your consciousness, a sanctuary shaped by intention and awareness. Welcome to Shaolin Divine Flow. Subscribe now to join a path where ancient wisdom meets modern life, and where every word you speak carries the power to change your world. Stay with me, for what you are about to learn may quietly transform everything around you. Some of the fiercest battles we face are not visible to the eye. I am Shi Hengyi, and I tell you this: the demons in your home often wear no shadow, make no sound, yet their presence is felt in the tension that lingers, the unease that whispers in quiet moments. In Shaolin wisdom, these are not always spirits or entities from legends. They are the echoes of fear, the residue of chaos, and the weight of negative energy carried into a space unguarded by awareness. Long ago, the monks of Shaolin discovered that imbalance within the mind creates turbulence in the environment. A home becomes a reflection of the internal state. If the mind is restless, impatient, or clouded by unresolved conflict, the energy within the walls mirrors this disharmony. The so-called demons emerge not from outside, but from the subtle misalignments of thought and emotion. To confront these forces, one must first understand them. They are not enemies to strike with anger or ritual, but signals to observe with clarity. Fear magnifies their power, allowing them to root deeply into corners of both home and spirit. Chaos thrives where attention is scattered, and negativity grows where mindfulness is absent. Shaolin practice teaches that calm discernment and steady presence dissolve the influence of these disturbances before they take hold. Approaching these shadows requires more than action. It requires reflection. The discipline of watching the mind, of noting fear without attachment, trains the body and spirit to radiate a stabilizing energy. When this inner alignment is achieved, the home itself becomes a sanctuary, resistant to disruption. In this way, the demons lose their grip, not because they are destroyed, but because they no longer find the fertile ground they need. Awareness becomes the first step, and understanding transforms fear into quiet strength, a shield woven from the very fabric of mindfulness. Before any words are spoken, before a verse is recited, the body and mind must be present, grounded in the moment. Mindfulness is the silent art that prepares the spirit for influence, a bridge between thought and energy. The ancients of Shaolin knew this well. A restless mind weakens intention, and a distracted body disperses energy into chaos. True protection begins with the stillness that roots both mind and form. Breath is the first anchor. Each inhalation draws clarity inward. Each exhalation releases tension and clutter from the spirit. Through disciplined breathing, the currents of energy within the body align, forming channels that connect intention to action. Posture becomes more than stance. It is a declaration of readiness, a subtle alignment of strength, focus, and presence. Even in silence, the body speaks, signaling to unseen forces that the space is held with awareness. Awareness extends beyond the self. observing the environment, sensing subtle shifts in energy, and noticing the weight of emotions, both personal and external, trains the practitioner in subtle mastery. Every thought, every motion becomes deliberate, creating a resonance that amplifies the effect of any verse or mantra. A calm mind carries authority. A disciplined presence radiates protection. In the monasteries of old, novices spent years mastering these foundations before they ever spoke a protective word. They understood that energy follows attention, that the power of a verse is multiplied when the vessel, mind and body is prepared. Through patient repetition, through deliberate centering, the ordinary transforms. The space, the self, the energy, each harmonizes into a single potent force. Preparation through mindfulness is not mere ritual. It is inner mastery in action. It is the quiet cultivation of discipline that allows words to resonate far beyond sound, turning intention into living energy and setting the stage for protection that begins within, before ever touching the world outside. The first verse is not merely a string of words. It is an invitation to align with the clarity that exists at the heart of being. Purity begins within. Shaolin masters teach that the state of the mind determines the resonance of the space around it. Thoughts clouded by fear, resentment, or distraction create turbulence. Thoughts refined by discipline, clarity, and intention spread calm and balance. To speak this verse effectively, the heart must be clear, the mind unwavering, and the spirit attentive. Purity is more than cleanliness or moral uprightness. It is the refinement of energy. It is the conscious choice to release what no longer serves, to observe the inner currents without clinging, and to cultivate thoughts that honor presence and discipline. When repeated with focus, the verse acts as a mirror, reflecting the inner order outward. Each syllable becomes a brushstroke, painting the home with stillness, light, and clarity. Ancient Shaolin practice shows that internal and external purification are inseparable. A space cannot truly hold peace when the practitioner's mind is unsettled. The act of reciting the verse is itself a meditation, a practice of repeated realignment. With each silent repetition, the mind settles, the breath steadies, and the subtle energy of the home shifts in response. The air seems lighter, the corners calmer, as if the space itself inhales the discipline and clarity being offered. The practice is simple yet profound. Hold the verse in the mind, breathe with intention, and allow the heart to remain calm. Do not rush, do not force. Purity is patient, it flows naturally from a centered presence. With consistent practice, the verse becomes more than words. It becomes a rhythm, a vibration that harmonizes the space, shields against disturbances, and reflects the discipline and mastery cultivated within. In this way, the power of the verse is inseparable from the cultivation of self, a living principle woven into every thought, breath, and silent intention. Every space, like every mind, requires limits. Without boundaries, energy scatters, leaving the home and spirit vulnerable to intrusion. The second verse is the verse of boundaries, a principle as much about discipline as it is about protection. In Shaolin philosophy, strength is not only in action, but in knowing where to hold and where to release. To guard a home is first to guard the self, to define the invisible lines that keep harmony intact. Boundaries are not walls built from fear. They are channels carved from awareness. They guide the flow of energy, allowing what is nourishing to enter and what is disruptive to be redirected. Personal mastery begins with understanding one's limits, emotional, mental, and spiritual, and reinforcing them daily. The verse serves as a declaration of these limits, spoken silently yet carried powerfully in the energy of the practitioner's presence. The act of repeating this verse is a practice in intentionality. Each word, drawn from a place of calm focus, strengthens the unseen shield surrounding the home. The mind becomes a vigilant observer, noting disturbances without attachment, turning awareness into armor. The body aligns, the breath steadies, and energy flows along the boundaries consciously set, creating a rhythm of protection that resonates beyond the walls of the physical space. Ancient masters knew that the home reflects the mind's discipline. Where boundaries are neglected, chaos finds purchase. Where they are maintained with clarity, every corner is infused with balance. The verse of boundaries teaches that protection is not passive, it is an ongoing practice of presence and attentiveness. By embedding this principle in daily life, the home becomes a living expression of inner mastery, a sanctuary shaped by conscious limits and a mind trained to guide energy with intention. Here, the subtle forces of the environment no longer wander unchecked. They are met with the quiet authority of one who has learned the art of boundaries. Light has always been the language of clarity, the quiet force that reveals truth and dispels shadow. The third verse is the verse of light, a call to awaken the luminous energy that resides within every mind and home. In Shaolin philosophy, light is not simply illumination of space, it is the reflection of awareness, the manifestation of life force, and the natural guardian against negativity. Where light thrives, darkness finds no foothold. To practice this verse, the mind must first embrace stillness. Visualize your home as a vessel of pure radiance, each corner glowing softly, each surface infused with calm energy. As the verse is repeated silently, imagine the light expanding outward from your center, filling every room, every hallway, and every hidden corner. With each breath, the luminous energy grows, not forced, but guided by intention and presence. The masters of Shaolin understood that true protection comes from cultivation, not confrontation. Inner light is cultivated through discipline, mindfulness, and a heart attuned to balance. As the practitioner strengthens this inner glow, the energy naturally repels negativity. It is not a battle fought with force, it is a quiet command, a vibration that resonates beyond sound, filling the space with a shield of awareness and calm. This verse teaches a subtle but profound truth. The power to transform the environment lies first within. By nurturing clarity, presence, and focused energy, the home itself becomes a reflection of mastery. The light cultivated within radiates outward, turning the ordinary into a sanctuary. Repetition of the verse is less an act of ritual and more an exercise in harmonizing the unseen with the seen, in weaving protection through intention, breath, and awareness. In this harmony, negativity fades, not through resistance, but through the irresistible force of cultivated light. Clinging gives power to that which seeks to unsettle. The fourth verse is the verse of detachment, a teaching that reveals one of the deepest truths of Shaolin philosophy. Energy binds where attachment lingers. Fear, desire, resentment. These are the threads that allow negativity to persist, lingering in corners of the home and mind. When attachment is released, the so-called demons lose their hold, not through struggle but through quiet mastery. Detachment is not indifference. It is the discipline of observing without entanglement, of witnessing thoughts and emotions, without allowing them to define action. In Shaolin practice, the mind is trained like water. It flows, adapts, and reflects, but it does not stagnate. Repeating the verse with awareness reinforces this principle, signaling to both mind and environment that energy will no longer be captured by fear or resistance. The home mirrors the mind. When thoughts cling to the past or grasp anxiously at outcomes, energy becomes stagnant, creating unseen friction in every corner. By cultivating detachment, the practitioner allows this energy to circulate freely, clearing the space naturally. Each repetition of the verse is an exercise in releasing control without losing presence, in acknowledging disturbances without inviting them to linger. Mindfulness is the bridge to true detachment. It trains the practitioner to notice the subtle rise of tension, the whisper of fear, and the pull of attachment, and to let it pass like clouds over a still sky. In this state, the environment responds in kind. The home becomes a reflection of inner freedom, light, spacious, and resilient. Negative forces are not fought. They dissolve quietly in the face of awareness, leaving the space and the mind aligned. The verse of detachment is both shield and teacher, reminding that mastery begins in letting go, and that liberation, once internalized, radiates outward naturally, reshaping the unseen currents of the home. True strength is born from balance. The fifth verse is the verse of harmony, a principle that unites mind, body, and space into a single flowing rhythm. In Shaolin philosophy, the outer world reflects the inner state, When the mind is calm, the body aligned, and intentions clear, the environment responds, and the home itself becomes a mirror of peace. Harmony is not imposed, it is cultivated, like the careful tuning of a stringed instrument, where each note resonates with the next. To practice this verse, begin with stillness. Allow the body to settle, the breath to deepen, and the mind to release fragments of distraction. Chant or meditate silently with intention, feeling the energy of your words ripple through the home. Each repetition is a subtle weaving of presence into the space, a gentle alignment of the visible and invisible, the material and the energetic. The house itself seems to breathe with this rhythm, every corner harmonized, every shadow softened by the flow of calm awareness. Shaolin masters have long taught that true protection and strength are inseparable from balance. A mind unbalanced invites turmoil. A body disconnected scatters energy. Harmony requires constant cultivation, a practice of mindful attention to both self and surroundings. By observing, adjusting, and repeating, the practitioner transforms the home into a living extension of inner mastery. This verse teaches that peace is both a personal discipline and a shared force. The energy of the space aligns with the steadiness of the practitioner, creating a sanctuary in which negativity cannot find purchase. Harmony is not passive, it is active presence, a deliberate cultivation of equilibrium that touches every object, every surface, every corner. Through consistent practice, the home becomes more than shelter. It becomes a reflection of discipline, awareness, and mastery, a place where mind, body, and space flow together in quiet, enduring balance. Protection is rarely seen, yet it is always present when cultivated from within. In Shaolin philosophy, disciplined energy forms an invisible shield, a subtle barrier woven from awareness, intention, and mastery. This shield is not built from walls or rituals. It emerges naturally from a mind trained in calm, a body rooted in presence, and a spirit aligned with purpose. The home becomes secure, not because of what is spoken, but because of the energy radiating silently from within. A balanced mind is the foundation of this invisible protection. When thoughts are steady, emotions tempered, and attention focused, energy flows evenly, creating a natural resonance that repels disturbances. Like ripples in water, this inner balance extends outward, shaping the space without force. The more disciplined the practitioner, the stronger the shield. It does not need to fight, it simply exists, a constant and enduring presence that harmonizes the environment and stabilizes the unseen currents of the home. The verses practiced earlier act as amplifiers to this protective energy. They are tools that focus intention and direct energy, much like a bow channels the strength of an archer. Yet the true source of the shield is not the words themselves. It is the mastery cultivated in the mind and body over time. Repetition of the verses enhances the resonance, but without calm awareness, they remain hollow. Discipline transforms the practice into living energy, a force both subtle and profound. Ancient Shaolin wisdom reminds that the invisible shield is continuous and responsive. It strengthens as attention, mindfulness, and inner clarity grow. Each breath, each focused thought, each moment of calm reinforces it. The home, infused with this energy, becomes a sanctuary that reflects the mastery within. Negativity cannot penetrate what is already balanced and aware, and the practitioner moves through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that the shield is ever present, not imposed, but naturally emanating from the cultivation of self. Every space we inhabit carries the energy we bring into it. Words, mindfulness, and mastery are not just practices, they are the tools that shape the home and life around us. When calm, light, and discipline are cultivated, the so-called demons, whether seen or unseen, lose their power, unable to take hold in a mind and environment that is centered and aware. Your home is more than walls and objects, it is a reflection of your inner state. By maintaining its energy through daily presence, intention, and mindful practice, you honor both the space and yourself. Each breath, each verse, each moment of awareness contributes to a sanctuary that nurtures balance, peace, and resilience. Take these lessons into your daily life. Repeat the verses. Observe your mind, refine your energy, and notice how subtle shifts create harmony around you. Protection begins not as an external act, but as an expression of inner mastery. As you cultivate calm and awareness, your environment naturally aligns with your growth, becoming a mirror of the discipline and clarity within. Let this be a gentle reminder: the power to transform your home, your energy, and your life lies quietly within your own presence. Carry it with intention and allow it to radiate. If this guidance resonates, join us on this path by liking the video and subscribing to Shaolin Divine Flow. Here, ancient wisdom meets modern life, and each moment of practice brings greater harmony, clarity, and peace.